Hello guys, Garcia here. Welcome back to Castlevania Curse of Darkness. So in the last episode, I told you guys that we were going to explore the second part of the tower. But before that, I was going to level up all the familiars. So I did that. So I started when I was with 14 hours played. So now I have 18 hours and a half, so that's how long it took. And also I started at level 53, now I'm 71. So I got a lot of levels out of that, but it took a long time. So let me show you guys a few of the charts here. So, fairies, we got all the fairies here. This is the translator fairy. We needed to decipher a few of the hieroglyphics in some of the walls, in some of the stages. And this is the fairy that's going to open Aeolon Ruins for us. Calling this a fairy is almost a crime against humanity, but you know how Japanese humor works. Or not, I don't know. So, for the battle type innocent devils, we got this new one, Corpsey. We got the best one, which is the Iron Side, in my opinion. He's very strong. Going to help us a lot, especially in the tower. And we got this one. This is the one I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember which one of the golems we were going to need in that section in the Forest of Jagromants, in which we need to break some statues. We needed some kind of like bowling ball type innocent devil, one that has like a skill that could like break it just by running into it, as far as I remembered back in the day. So it's this one, because he has a skill in which you can climb on its shoulder and control it. So that's the one we are going to use. These are the flying ones, so we got a few new ones here. Nothing too exciting on this side here, other than the frost dragon here. We have the phoenix too, but the flying ones are kind of underwhelming in my opinion. The only one I haven't completed yet is this one, because I haven't got another extra devil shard. You need a devil shard to start the process of evolution again with a new familiar. But I don't have a single one for the mages, so I need to just walk around the castle with the mage, and hopefully he will eventually drop a devil shard for us. The demon's in the same situation because I don't have the item to evolve him yet. Another thing that we need to be working on is actually, I think the item's called like the pumpkin mace or something like that, which is the item we need in order to break the petrification of that pumpkin familiar in Dracula's castle. Problem is, I only have half of the item. I have this Pico Pico hammer here, and we are supposed to combine this with some kind of pumpkin item, but I need to farm a lot of materials for that particular item yet, so another like 3-4 hours at least. So instead, today we are not going to go to the tower, and we are not going to farm anything. We are going to complete as much of the castle as possible, not that we have a bunch of familiars that can open a bunch of different things. So we are actually here in the mountains. So I just got the mage familiar that can purify the blood skeletons here. So if you guys remember, I thought for the longest time that I actually needed to kill the skeletons and then use that time stop spell from the mages to be able to proceed here. Turns out I just need to purify them. I got a mage with a purify skill, so the moment I noticed that the mage like purifies zombies and skeletons and stuff, I was like, whoa, so that solves the problem. And also, we can finally explore the waterfall here, because if you guys remember, we interrupted the flux of the water. So that means that probably we will be able to walk through that section too, without necessarily needing like a familiar to do that. So let's start here first. We can basically complete most of the maps, if not all of them. Maybe one or two things I can't do right now, but most of them I can. As I told you guys before, it's more a case of like having or not having the skills on the innocent devils, then like I need to find super complicated passages and stuff. The only passage in the entire game so far that I had to actually look to find out where exactly it was is the one in Aelon Ruins, which is the one that requires that incredibly ugly fairy familiar I just showed you guys. That fairy has a skill in which it presses a button, and that button opens up a huge hall with new sections to explore in the Aelon Ruins. So we'll be using it, so this is the only one that I had to actually check so far. The other one, obviously, is the pumpkin maze. No way I would figure that out for myself, because I would need to like kill very specific monsters and get very specific materials to be able to even see the recipes. You don't learn the recipes in the game until you have the correct materials to actually do the recipe, you know? So you can't like guess, you need to actually have the materials in hand for them to be, for the recipes to be available. So that means that there's no like real guesswork involved. You just need to have the correct materials. So I was kinda trigger happy with the materials I got before, so I've been using a bunch of them. Luckily I used the Miracle Egg, which is one of the hardest materials to get. I ended up using it to actually create the Pico Hammer, which is a material for the Pumpkin Maze, which we will be using. So that was not a mistake, but was merely a lucky guess. I didn't know beforehand that I needed that particular item. I also have no idea how to craft the whip that Isaac uses. We can use it, and I got a comment telling me that that item is probably the item that I need to evolve the demon familiar. So I probably need to get like special evolution crystals, probably using that particular weapon. Problem is, obviously, I don't have the recipe, and I don't have the materials, so the recipe hasn't shown up yet. So I probably will have to look up that if I really want to do that. As you can see, that's the purification. It just erases the undead creature from existence, basically. I'm not using the skill, by the way. The mage is using by itself. If you check it out here, Purify is not an activated skill, costs 0. With a single blow, returns all ghost monsters to the afterlife. So basically, the mage is doing this all by itself. So let's see what we're going to get. Oh, HP max up. So I got a lot of levels of all of the training. Actually, I should have told you guys before. The only passage I explored here off camera, because I needed to actually, was here in the Infinite Corridors. So if you guys remember, there's this X right here. There was a big metal door that we found here when we walked through the corridors, or the corridor. And I needed the golem to lift it. So I brought the golem, I lifted it, and I just walk down the stairs here. And this particular spot here is the best It's the best spot to farm all of your evolution crystals that you need for all the familiars. There's like 6, 7, 8 undeads at the same time active in the room, and they like replenish at least twice, so you can kill like 25, 30 monsters in one go in that room. So it's extremely fast, and each enemy that is dropping crystals is dropping 3 instead of 2. I'm guessing because they are very like high level enemies. Not very, they're like 40 something, 50 something, I don't know. So that was how I was able to farm all the familiars. If I was using my method that I told you guys I was going to use, which was those rogues in Cordova Town, that would have taken like double the time at least. So I would have like 8 extra hours of playtime just trying to evolve familiars, you know. So I'm glad I went that route there, because it was way more useful. That said, I didn't explore anything else. I wanted to explore this during the episode, so I don't know exactly what's there anyway. I just evolved the creatures. And yeah, as you can see, it's empty here. So since we lifted the whole area for like Dracula's castle and stuff, I forgot exactly where, but we pressed something or we activated something that changed the flux of the water. That means that several points in the castle that were like flooded, especially like in the aqueduct, they are accessible now. And by the way, I'm walking around with the mage here because I need the mage to cough up one of those devil shards. I still need to level up one more mage. Okay. So where are we here? Alright, so from now on we are going to find out a bunch of new stuff. I have no idea what we're going to get, so hopefully there's a bunch of good stuff that we didn't have access to before. But I'm guessing not a whole lot of like in the way of like weapons and things of that nature. The best we're going to get are like new materials and stuff. Maybe a cool new relic or something like that. Oh, this place is actually pretty big. Okay. Oh. As always, at least once every episode I need to get stuck in this guy here. Oh, new chair. Chair explanation. Pachinko. So from the distant holy land of Nagoya. Too bad you can't cash in the winning balls for money. Man, that's so poetic. You guys have no idea. I don't think they knew at the time. But one of the biggest points of contention of the fandom towards Konami, which for the longest time was the developer of Castlevania, is the fact that they started focusing more and more on pachinkos, these types of machines here. And Castlevania was one of the franchises they explored in this type of basically gambling, right? It's a type of sanctioned gambling. So instead of making actual games, they just used Castlevania in pachinko machines. So the fact that this game actually has a chair that has a pachinko in a Castlevania game is just incredibly meta. If you think about what would happen in the near future. This game is from like 2006, so there would be a few Castlevanias before that would happen. Dark crystal material, sure. I'm not going to even check what I can do with this material. I'm not going to waste any more materials from now on, to be honest. I'm going to only use it in things I really, really need. Alright, so let's see. Another new item. Oh, what's that? Oh, the complete potion. Oh, that's great, actually. That is going to help us a lot in the final battle. I'm so scared of the final battle in this game. Several bosses in a row. I have no idea if I'll be able to do that. Hopefully. So there you go, the mountains are complete. So I can remove the axes here. Alright, so now that the mountains are complete, I can go back. So we are going to be using a lot of magical tickets in this episode. That's why I bought a lot of them. And also, if you guys... I'm going to show you guys my menu real quick here. I have a lot of gold, 16,000. That's because in the place I farmed, a lot of enemies dropped. There were two types of enemies. One dropped steel and the other one dropped red steel. So as you can see, I have a lot of them. So I sold a lot of these. So I have a lot of money right now. I don't need to talk to Julia actually. Okay, so the mountains are gone. So which side? Here. So now we need to go to the aqueduct. So weirdly enough, the entire aqueduct, I thought basically that we would need some creature that like froze the water for us to walk around in the places that are, the places that are flooded. But the thing is, actually we just needed to remove the water that is there. So we did that without necessarily having to use a familiar. So we have a familiar that has freezing skills. I think it's called Indigo, one of the flying familiars. So the first place we need to go is here. I suppose there's no water here anymore. So we have a familiar that has like ice spells and ice-based attacks, but we don't need it because the idea was not to freeze anything, was to actually just remove the water. So as you guys can see, there's no water anymore, right? Hopefully I can climb back up here. I have no idea. This is huge. Alright, so on this side, nothing. Hopefully there's something here. Maybe I can break one of the walls. This one looks quite old. Speaking about walls, actually there was a breakable on this stage that I did not see. But because I was walking around the castle, going through the entire map, I actually found the wall. It's in this stage here. We will be breaking it. So let's summon the translator fairy here. Okay, so this is Angel Halo. Strong holy powers. Is this a material? Oh, I see new combinations. Yes. So another one we are not using here. So let's bring the mage back. As far as I understand, the best way to get a familiar to like you drop a devil shard is actually spending time with the familiar around the castle. Obviously the best way to evolve the familiar and get the skills is by killing enemies, but when it comes to actually getting the actual shards, the actual eggs we need for new familiars, the best way is to actually just spend time with the familiar walking around the castle. That said, I have no idea. I'm actually going to need the other familiar here. That said, I have no idea how long it is. If it's like half an hour or something like that. I know it's a while. So this is going to be the stage in which we are going to have to walk the most during this video here. And there's also a long walk we will have to do in Dracula's castle because there's a wall we need to decipher. That said, in that particular area I'm going to just jump cut. I'm going to enter the castle and then just cut to the part in which I reach the place, because there's going to be nothing in between, and I'm not going to kill any enemy anyway. This one is slightly smaller, I think, so I think I can just walk around here. I don't have any reason to kill anything. I'm really high level right now, so that means that killing these enemies here is not going to help me at all. As you can see, you can already see on the sides here that there is no water. This place always had a current, especially like on the sides. So basically I evolved all the familiars, then I walked all over the castle. So basically I evolved the familiars yesterday, and earlier today I was just walking around, trying to find passages and stuff. And the only one I couldn't crack was the Aeolon Ruins thing. I don't think I would ever be able to find that passage, to be honest. It's very specific. Okay. I'm just moving forward here, but I don't know if we're reaching the place. Hopefully. This is the worst stage in terms of like basically finding yourself with the map, where exactly you are. It's terrible to check, you know. You constantly get lost if you follow the map. So might as well just go forward. Eventually we'll reach the place. Alright, I'm not going to jump here. I did this earlier today. That was actually a mistake. So I'm not going to jump down this time. So as you can see, the mage is purifying the enemies here. That purifying skill is actually very, very useful. It really is. This mage also has a skill called homing, which is basically a series of like homing missiles. Magical missiles. And they are really, really good. I'm going to show you guys. Let me show you. So if there's like a lot of enemies on screen, the homing missiles just get all of them. Obviously it uses a bunch of hearts, but in certain situations it could be completely useful. Especially in that place I showed you guys that I farmed, because if you look at the actual makeup of the place, it has a save right there, so you can just exit, use a bunch of homing, the skill, and you would clear the room in like less than a minute. You would kill like 30 enemies in less than a minute. So it's extremely quick to like farm materials to sell, for example. That said, for like actually farming crystals is not that useful, because you need to have the correct familiar to have the correct crystals for that familiar. So you can't just use another familiar to farm crystals for a different one, which makes sense, but it would be very, very useful to have that available for us. Let's use homing again. Also depends on the enemy because of the damage, right? So might need several usages of the skill to clear a room, for example. And obviously against bosses this is probably completely useless. That said, I finally found the real best familiar, which is the Iron Side. The Iron Side is one of the evolutions of the battle familiar, and it's a kind of a mech, and he has two attacks. One is like a Gatling gun type attack, and the other one is he like punches enemies from a distance. He like extends his arms, you know. So these two skills are very, very powerful, and he has a lot of health too. So I'm guessing if there's like one familiar that you should like maximize in terms of leveling, certainly would be that one. Okay, so one. Alright, so I need to go there. Where? Yes. Yes. Finally. So this side right here would be completely like flooded, right? The other side too. So there's nothing here anymore. It's not like we removed the water. The idea is like we redirected the flux of the water, basically. The water went someplace else, basically. I think we're in the correct spot. Yes, we are. That took a while. So this was the room. Oh, sorry. Here. So we can remove it. So there you can see the door there. So the entire time I was thinking either I would have to use a demon to glide over the water, or I would have to like freeze the water. No to both. So basically when I was wandering the castle today, I kind of found several areas just opened because of the water thing. So I didn't have to like figure out which familiar I needed to use. I just had to walk around to the places in which there was water blocking the way. Oh, these enemies are actually more powerful. Yeah, these enemies are are not like level 20, they are level 40 something. Okay, so let's see. This is all new stuff here. Okay. I'm guessing I need to kill them. Maybe the doors are locked. I think they are, I can see from here. I think so. Still using my favorite weapon here. Haven't found anything better so far. When you use the battle type familiar, your damage is way higher. My damage right now sometimes can reach like almost 100 for each attack because of all the levels I got and the bonus that the familiars give to you when they are summoned, you know. But I need to use the mage right now anyway, so... Oh yes, it's really close. Still close, so there must be a dragon here, yes. Several of the materials you are going to need for the pumpkin mace are actually materials that we need to steal from certain enemies. Oh, there you go, the shard. That's what we needed. Perfect. This is the final shard we're going to need. I guess the pumpkin familiar and the demon might also need... Not need, they might also have different evolutions, but I don't know. I don't have both. Actually, I have the demon, but I never evolved one, so I don't know. I'm using the home beam a lot here just because I'm going to put the mage to sleep anyway. Alright, now that I have the shard, I don't need to walk around with the mage anymore. So I'm just going to walk around with something else here. Let's walk around with the familiar, with the flying familiar here for a change. Okay. So this is the correct side, right? Yes. Man, that was a gigantic section. Side, another side. Oh, there's dragons in all corners. I just noticed. As always, they blend so well to the walls. Okay. So as I told you guys before, we are going for as much percentage of the castle we can. If you can't complete it, that's okay. I mean, if we can't like get all the items and familiars, that's also okay. I'm just postponing the final battle for as long as possible to see if I can get like as many items and power-ups and levels as possible until before I'm forced to fight them because this is the last thing available to do, you know. As far as I know, you can also play with Trevor Belmont, which is the Belmont from this game. Obviously after you clear the game. We will not be doing that, by the way, because that would take like another extra 15 episodes just walking around the castle again with a different character, you know. In Symphony of the Night, when you play as Rikta, it's actually way better because it's way faster. This game is way longer. So I don't think this is worth it. Dark matter. So more materials? Yeah, we are getting a lot of materials. Not necessarily what I wanted to get from all of these passages, to be honest. But it is what it is. I wanted more like HP max ups, just like the one we got in the mountains, or maybe some more relics or something like that, you know. But the process of like leveling the familiars actually helped a lot, because I leveled up a lot and I got a lot of money, so I kind of got all of the bases covered, you know. Aquamarine. Well, we have this material like since almost the beginning of the game, I think. Oh, a new chair. Let's see. So, chair explanation. Two-seater sofa. A classy antique, how do I say this? Antique, right? A classy antique looking sofa that seats two. Looks like it would be fun to share with a sweetheart. Well, this guy's sweetheart has been dead for a while now. So that's depressing as shit. Okay, so now we had to go back to the second floor, I think. And from there we can go back to close to the beginning of the stage. I cannot teleport from here because actually the distance to reach the place I am going to is closer from here than it is from like teleporting to anywhere else. The teleport in the aqueduct is terrible because it's like right at the end of the stage. And the middle of the stage is the part that is like a nightmare to navigate, you know? Alright, I don't see any reason to kill anything here, so let's go. Antique. That's a word I don't hear a lot. Okay. Alright. I still think this is the best flying familiar, by the way. This one that I'm using. There's the ice one, which is I think is called Indigo. There's like an imp, there's the phoenix, and there's the other one, and so forth. And they all have like skills and all that stuff. But I really think the one that's like the one that causes more havoc in a like combat situation is this one. And it also has the long glide. And by the way, I jumped off the tower in the last episode, right? Because I thought I had the wrong familiar. But it turns out it was probably the best thing that could have happened. Because if I went to the other tower, at that point I wouldn't be ready. I'm pretty sure. So that turned out to be like, in a kind of a roundabout way, the correct decision, you know? Now I'm more ready. I don't know if I am ready, but because I'm guessing the second tower is going to be way harder than the first one. That said, the part that's making me kind of nervous is that I am still using all the same equipment I was using before I started to train the familiars. So I haven't upgraded anything. Nor the weapon, or, you know, nothing, basically. Everything is exactly the same. That is making me a little nervous. And the only area I know I can train to get levels faster is that area... yeah, it's here. Is that area near that special boss in Garibaldi Temple. But those enemies are very powerful. But I will have to fight them anyway because they drop the item that's called Miracle Egg, which is one of the items I need for the pumpkin mace. So if I want that familiar, I'm going to have to farm those enemies for that item anyway. Luckily, if you guys remember, in that part of the map there's a save point like right there. So even if like everything goes south and the familiars start to die there, I will still have basically a save point right there to replenish everything and keep farming, you know. But that was a long ass walk. But now we need to reach this second ball right here, basically on the map. There's a breakable wall there. My voice, by the way, is all messed up today because here in Brazil we are having This is going to sound super weird, but my voice is not bad because I'm like under the weather. I don't have a cold. It's the opposite. We are facing like the most brutal heat wave we have always faced like forever, basically. I think the worst one like of all time. So the sensation is like almost like 40 degrees Celsius here. I think this is the place, right? Yes, here. I don't know how I missed this the first time around, but I did miss it. So because of that horrible like temperature and thermal like sensation, basically, everything's messed up for everybody here. So no one can sleep right, no one can eat right, no one. Everybody's like taking 2-3 showers per day, cold showers, you know. I'm recording this, it's like 12 p.m. so basically almost 1 a.m. here, and it feels like it's like I'm in the afternoon of a very hot day, and it's actually the early hours of the next day already, you know. So it's just absolutely brutal. Never felt something similar. So that's why my voice is completely messed up. Extra ID. Let me check this. Where do I check? Here? Increases the number of innocent devils you can carry. Oh, I can carry more. Let's see. Oh, so I have one extra spot. Well, that's probably good for the tower, I guess. That means I can, like, bring one extra fairy, for example. So there you go. We completed the aqueduct now. Let's just remove the axe here. I guess this is going to be the longest episode in the series because we are going to probably do everything today. I don't see a reason to like have 2 episodes of me just walking around the castle completing stuff, you know? Alright, so the aqueduct is done. So let me just save real quick just in case we have a bug or something like that, you know? Alright, so next up we are gonna go to the forest. There we actually need to break the statues of that section that I've been trying to discover which familiar would break it, like for the longest time. We actually need to sit on a tree stump that was available there. And also there's a chest I just didn't open for some reason. I remember complaining about it in the episode. I was like, I was halfway done with the stage and I was like, why didn't I open that thing? No reason why, I just didn't. I'm going to show you guys here. Right here, this first X here. For some reason I didn't do that. I don't know why. So first we are going to break the statues, then we are going to go back. The tree stump is like right here. It's basically a tree trunk, really. It's actually a chair. I thought I needed to use the fairy for some reason, but it's just a chair. And the chest is here. So let's just teleport there. Wrong side. So let's bring another guy here. Yeah, let's bring... I was going to bring the guy I need, but maybe I should preserve him, just in case. Just to avoid him like taking a whole lot of damage, you know? Okay, so... forest. This one was the easiest one to remember. The moment I took like one look, I looked the golem in that particular spot in the chart. I looked at him, I was like, oh, this is the one, I'm pretty sure, because I remembered from back in the day. So one of the very few things I remember, because I thought basically the whole presentation of the creature was so ridiculous. It's basically like a huge poodle, like one of those white puppies. Okay. Maybe the episode with the next towers which would be even bigger than this one, I think, because I have no idea how long it's going to take to like go through each floor. Might take forever. The best thing about training the familiars was gaining a lot of health because of the levels. So I'm kind of feeling way safer now. Alright, so let's summon the guy. So he has an ability for me to like jump in his shoulder. This one, shoulder right. Then the idea is to just like do this to gain momentum, you know, to break the statues like that. There you go. So that's the entire thing. So basically you evolve the golem and all of the other golems to open like one passage, you know. I need to keep always checking the map to see if there's like an extra entrance or something. Oh, that was like instant. Oh, a new chair. Explanation. Woodman's chair. A wooden chair shaped like a man. Be careful how you sit in it, or it may look somewhat rude. Oh, really? I don't see anything compromising there. Rare ring. Wearing this, enemies become more likely to drop items. Oh, really? Hey, that's actually very interesting. Let's equip this right now. I love the idea of getting extra stuff. Oh, plus 15 luck. Oh, this is going to help me farm a lot. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't start farming for the weapon yet. Man, this item could help me a lot. I'm really, really glad. Maybe that would have helped me like getting extra crystals for the familiars. But that area was so good to farm in terms of like how fast it was. I know 4 hours doesn't seem that fast, but it was so many levels for so many familiars. And I didn't need it to like walk around the castle at all. I just needed to kill a bunch of enemies there like kind of forever, and then it was done, you know. Far before the pumpkin mace is going to be terrible, because some of the materials you can drop from enemies, other materials you need to steal, other materials you need to be extremely lucky. So I'm not even sure if I'll be able to get all the materials we need, to be honest. Maybe. More materials, I guess. Dragon scale. Not even checking. This material I haven't used for anything yet, so I have no idea if it's good or bad. Okay, so I think this section is okay, so let me remove all of this. Now we are going to teleport back here, so we can gain some time here. Item, magical ticket. Since I can actually walk around with an extra familiar, I'm actually going to bring the iron side.
What can I get you today?
Take.
Which do you like?
Is this guy?
Thanks, as always. Which do you like?
Joel?
You took good care of it. Come back again.
I named all the familiars with the like simplest names humanly possible. In the beginning I was thinking of like naming all of them after like Warcraft bosses and things of that nature. But it was so easy to just call them like Anthony, Joel, John, Mary. You know, just the simplest, the names that like fill up all the phone books of America, you know. So a bunch of these passages I could have done earlier. I was just not completely sure what I needed to do. So I had the means, but I didn't know exactly. I had the tools, but I didn't have the information. So I guess it's okay to do them now. All right. Even though the iron side is out, I am not going to use him to kill anything that is not like enemies in new passages. Okay, so now we need to just take the left. All right. One thing that I found out earlier today when I was walking around the castle is that the memorial ticket system is actually really, really good. Because I would like use the memorial ticket in a particular save. Then I would bring a bunch of familiars to see which one had the skill I needed, you know. Without the memorial ticket, like if it was a case, oh, wrong side. If it was a case in which I was only using the teleporters, it would take forever to do that entire process. It would take, no joke, 5, 6, 7 hours just trying to figure it out, you know. This is the enemy, one of the enemies I need to farm for the mace. I need to get Jade from these enemies, but they normally drop the Indigo Steel, as you saw there. Maybe with the rare ring I can drop like better materials, I don't know. Definitely is going to help. There you go. Problem solved. Chair explanation. Stumps tool. A rough seat made by the pioneers who cleared this area. Its coarse surface is hard on the rear. I bet it is. Okay, so now we just need to follow this same path here. And we can get the chest. So I thought, my god, this is gonna take forever, these materials, because I killed a bunch of these and like got one jade during the entire game. Then I just got the ring and bam, first pack, got one, problem solved. So it turns out the rare ring is actually really good. I want to use it in the tower against the powerful enemies too. The problem is it does not seem like a good idea. Especially when you have a bunch of rings that give you resistance to... this map is so complicated. Give you resistance to a bunch of different types of elements and stuff. Come on. Like, this is really early in the game. And I remember seeing the chest down here, and I was like, I'll come back here pretty soon, and then I forgot about it. Oh. Number 2. So, chair explanation. Western toilet. This robing is not required to sit here, although you may be thought somewhat odd if observed. Sure. So one more chair, so we are getting a lot of chairs. And as I said before, I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's summon one of the fairies. Okay. So what's that? More materials? Devil's Vein. Yeah? That's one hell of a name for a material, to be honest. Devil's Vein. Could be really good, it could be pointless. So we should have 100% here now. We need to walk a little bit still. Yeah, there you go. So we complete the stage. So far, other than the Garibaldi Temple, which is the one in which we need to enter the boss room to complete the thing, which we are not going to do right now. So the next one is the ruins. So let's port back. Okay, so in the ruins, we need to just press the button to explore the new corridors we haven't explored yet. And we actually need to decipher the first of several hieroglyphs we need to decipher. There's actually one in the forest or in the mountains, I think. But it's only talking like about the tower. It's basically an information panel that you translate with using the fairy. The specific fairy that has the skill. And actually, they don't help a whole lot, as far as I understand. But these here probably have better information, like new items and things of that nature. Maybe like a new weapon combination or something. So down here, I'm pretty sure there's one. I didn't mark it, but I remember that we explored here, and there was one of those hieroglyphics on the wall. So let's do that first, because it's the only thing we need to do on this side here of the map. I came to the wrong side. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the other side. As I told you guys about the heat wave, I'm so drenched in like sweat right now. All of my clothes are like stuck to my body. You know when someone like throws a bucket of water in you and you are dressed and all of your clothes like become a second skin? That's basically what's happening. There you go. This here. So let's bring the fairy. This is the translator fairy. Oh, let's see. So the legendary laser blade. With 9 different blades needed, the combination is quite difficult. A fire burns perpetually from the enchanted sword. It's an excerpt from Sage Iniomeus. Hey, that's the name of the tower, right? Iniomeus. Yeah. But I think this is just the name of the guy. I think I said here before, but just in case. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we already did this. Alright, now we can go back. Let me summon the iron side back. Alright, so laser blade. So that's probably, I'm guessing, that's probably Isaac's weapon, right? It's that whip that is very shiny. Laser blade is such a weird way to describe it. It's basically saying like the guy is using like a lightsaber. What's the point of calling it a laser blade? You know? Or maybe it's actually a laser sword, indeed, and not Isaac's weapon. But I haven't read anything about it yet, so I have no idea how to do it. That's not a good system, by the way. I don't like this system at all, in which you need to actually get rare materials first, and the correct combination of them on your inventory for certain recipes to be available to you. That seems like way too like luck based. It's not like skill based. It's not like you can walk around the castle and find recipes for yourself, you know. You have to just basically be lucky enough to not have wasted the material on something else while you're getting new ones, and getting lucky with a new one that happens to be part of a combination with an older one that you didn't use before, you know? It's complicated even to explain. Would be way more useful if there was a way to just find the recipes, you know? So this is the room. I can show you guys, I think, the button. There's a button in the wall here. This is the one I had to research because I had no idea. So we need to bring the old man here, the Oji-san, which is his proboscis fairy. There you go. Let's see if he's going to find it. Oh, there you go. Oh my god. Oh, the guy's stuck. Come on, man, get up. So there you go. Man, this place is really huge. I saw a picture, but I didn't thought it was going to be that big. So how many doors do we have? I think only one. Yeah, down here. So that's the only thing in which we actually need to use this guy here. So the ability is called press it and see. So how, like, imagine if you need to find this for yourself, how would you first see the button? Second, you would like evolve a fairy and see this skill and be like, ah, so this skill I need for that button, that particular room. Just so specific. But this fairy also has refresh here, so it can heal any kind of ailment, which is like the remedy from the Final Fantasy series. So it's actually very useful. That said, I don't like this Oji-san at all. So I'm just going to walk around with the iron side here. But this is the worst one to figure it out. Like, I would never be able to find this like by myself. Let's go to this side first, I guess. All these extra places seem to go to the same cave system. They kind of all look the same. Oh, this is actually an extra corridor. Oh, wait, let me complete the other side first. Left. So please, something useful. Oh, another chair. Oh, direction chair. Or director's chair, I would say. Yeah, director's chair. So the comfy, no-nonsense seats of a renowned director famous for his temper. Sit here at your own risk. Yeah, that's not a good idea. There you go. What's that? Can't pronounce that, so not going to even try. The lower the bearer's HP becomes, the more damage they will cause to their foes. Oh, that's actually really good against bosses, I think. Especially when you have like 300 or less health. Obviously the idea is to never be low health, but if you have to be, that obviously would be useful. Not now, but against bigger enemies for sure. It's taking forever. So another item. So let's see what we're going to get. More chairs maybe? Yeah, another one. This one is... Oh. Comedian's Chair. A comic masterpiece created by a legendary comic duo. Laughter guaranteed. A real rib tickler. Probably one of those comedic duos of Japanese television. The Ultimate Metal. Whoa, Created on a phantom continent. Shines with a red light. Oh, this might be the best material we got so far, maybe? Obviously not using this one either. So if you guys don't know, because I am a Japanese animation fan and I watch Japanese pro wrestling and all that stuff, so I'm kind of like always swimming in that type of media, so to speak. So Japanese comedy is atrocious. Not like comedic like animations or comedic like series or things of that nature, but the actual daytime programming of Japanese television is absolute. Oh, another one of those potions is absolutely atrocious. It's like the lowest level possible of comedy. If you think like those prank YouTubers, if you think they are like too like lowbrow or they're too cringe, you guys have no idea how worse it could be. Japanese television that is not like the animations or news or things of that nature, just like random entertainment in like mornings or evenings or afternoons and stuff, most of the day, just sucks like aggressively. Alright, so programs are also complete. So it turns out that place I thought I needed like a fiery skill to go through the tree trunks. Turns out there's nothing here. So I was worried about a passage that didn't exist. Okay, so let's port back. So as you can see, we made a lot of progress in terms of percentages here. I don't know if this whole thing helped us a whole lot. We got a couple of good items. We got a HP heart max up. I kind of mixed two things in the same sentence there. We got an HP max up, that's what I was trying to say. Heart max up is from Castlevania, Curse of Dark, or Symphony of the Night. So I mixed my game. So actually let's see how is our percentage doing here. Should be really high now. Let's check. 98.57%. That's really good. Alright, so now we need to go to the corridors. This is the second to last thing we need to do actually. There we just need to decipher one thing and we need to complete that section that I opened with the golem to train the familiars. So we are getting a lot of ground here. Actually, this is going to way faster than I thought it was going to be. I'm glad I did this whole tour like beforehand, because like figuring this out like during the recording would be a disaster. This would take like 3 hours. But luckily I had the foresight to practice a little bit before doing this. Okay, so let's just get it done. So we are here. So we just need to go to that side. Turns out, by the way, this crystal right here probably is nothing either. I just marked a bunch of things that I thought was like kind of suspect. Like they looked like they could have a passage like within them or besides them or something like that. But turns out several of those were nothing really. So the entire time I was like, oh, how do I break this? Probably I don't. That's my conclusion. So this is the door I opened. As you can see, the side of the door here. So this is the training room. So there's a save here. So there's going to be a lot of these here, and they respawn like constantly. So let me show you the skills of the Iron Side. So he can use this, the super punches, and the machine gun shots. It's really, really strong. And it's not that expensive at all. And also remember, we also have the accessories. We have that accessory that like gives us a discount when using skills based on heart usage. So if this one, say, costs 10, it's going to cost 5 with the accessory. That said, I don't know if it's worth it to like sacrifice one of the spots in the accessory row for this. Lightning Stone. A stone made when lightning strikes the crystal by chance. Massive energy. So more materials. We have a lot of new materials. That said, I don't want to use any of them. This might be a trap, using like all of these that I only have one of. I need to see first how many I'm going to need for the... We have a new one. New helmet. I'm not going to fall for this. The ones I always like, they make me feel like kind of shook. It's like the ones that like give me new armor. I'm always like, I should use it, you know. But later on, it turns out you were not supposed to use on that item, you know. So I'm trying to like exercise some self-control here. The only problem with this familiar here, to be honest, is that it looks kind of meh. I don't like the look of it. Other than that, it is by far the best one so far. I don't know if like the fully grown demon is better. Probably is. Or the pumpkin. I haven't used the pumpkin ever in my playthrough back in the day of this game. I don't remember ever getting the pumpkin. But back then I didn't even have a computer with internet, so I couldn't even research how to get it, you know. What's that? More materials? This is a max up maybe? Phlogiston or phlogiston. Hardened warmth collected from a variety of objects gives off natural beats in its pure form. Natural heat, not natural beat, not a song. I see. So more materials, so we got 2 materials on the 2 sides here. Oh, we are locked in, so we need to fight here. Come on. Luckily the place we need to decipher I actually marked on this map, so I don't need to. This is the most annoying end. Actually no, the knight is more annoying. The knight is definitely my worst enemy. There you go, just erase this guy from existence. Oh, there's actually a lot of enemies in this room, my god. Oh, I'm still using the ring, so I'm getting the materials, the rare ones. See, these enemies, they drop triple crystals. So instead of only 2 per enemy, you get 3. So that made the whole thing go way faster too when I was farming. Oh, that's a lot of enemies, my god. This place is kind of a trap. Jesus. That's one hell of a knockback. Alright. Okay, so we completed here. So we are already at 100%, but we need to go to that other side there, as you can see. We need to decipher what's written in that wall. So the first important one we got was talking about the so-called laser blade. Oh, now we are completely locked. So they locked us on the way back this time around. This is weird. I'm just going to use the golem here. It's way more convenient. Alright, this guy has a lot of HP. My god, this room is a nightmare. It doesn't end. Now I'm cursed. Awesome. I have to count on the golem hitting his shots here. No, 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 no. Oh, we got a rare material. Angel Halo. The one we got today, actually. That's really good. So, turns out the rare ring actually does work. What's the name of that item in Symphony of the Night that also helps you get rare items? I think Lapis Lazuli gives you extra luck, I think. Ring of Arcana, yes. Ring of Arcana is the ring that gives you an extra chance to get rare items. It's the item that you use to farm the Ring of Varda, which is the best item in the game. Other than the duplicator, obviously. But you can't farm the duplicator. You can farm money to get the duplicator. If the duplicator was a drop, that would be amazing. I'm just saving here just in case something bugs out here. We've done a lot of stuff and I don't want to do this again. This would be like the third time. Alright, so we are already at 100%, so this is pointless. So we need to go to the other side so we can decipher the wall. I'm calling them hieroglyphics, but I'm not sure if that's what they are. I don't know if Castlevania has any connection to the ancient Egypt. Even though there's like a few bosses during the franchise that have some connection to like ancient, like Egyptian themes. Like, what's the name of that big one in Symphony of the Night? Galamoth? He kind of looks like an ancient pharaoh when you look at it. Here. We need the glide. Come on, man. No, 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 don't go down. I need you here. Oh, almost went down. So, yeah, it's up there. Depending on the angle you look, the X kind of disappears, but yeah, this is not a good place to farm. It's kind of the mirror image of that other room, with the difference that this one is way worse. These enemies are terrible. Man, if I get stuck in this room is going to be so annoying. Just thinking about all the curses I'm going to get here. Oh my god. Alright, that's a lot. Yeah, when we come back, we're going to have to fight all of these guys probably. Actually, you don't need to come back. Oh, yeah, that's true. We actually completed everything here, so we don't need to walk back in the corridors anymore. So let's see what info can we get here. Please give me like the recipe. That would be so good. This is the one. Tiramisu. What's her name? That's it. There's only one correct path to the ultimate devil type evolution. Find that thing, or the path will never open. I see. So another excerpt. So yeah, that's basically telling us that we need Isaac's weapon to evolve the demon. Which is a problem because I don't know how to get it. So we don't need to walk back. So there you go. We have also completed the corridors. So the situation is completed. Garibaldi Temple, only the boss room left. Probably the last thing in the game we're going to do. Actually, there's an X here. Oh, I just forgot to remove it. Okay. The aqueduct complete. The forest complete. Only the tower left. Whatever town was completed a long time ago. So the tower was too. A1 room is complete. The quarters complete. Yeah, so basically we only need the Garibaldi Temple, the tower in the forest, and Dracula's castle. So the last thing we need to do today, we need to come here, we need to teleport to the aqueduct, enter here, go the entire way until we reach this staircase here. That will take us to the second Dracula's castle. We are going to start here, go the entire way here, then second floor from here to here, and here we can translate. So that's the entire way we need to. Actually, I marked this place here before. I actually don't remember why I marked this place here. I don't think it was anything important. And here is the pumpkin. We can't get it yet. We actually need the demon to enter here. I need to remember this when we get the pumpkin mace. And this is where the final battle begins. I don't remember why I marked this part here, by the way. I'm trying to remember. What is this? Well, when we go back to get the demon, I can go back here. I will have to go back here anyway to go to the 7th floor. So you teleport here, then you go down, you get here, then you go real quick here to see what this is. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to teleport to the aqueduct to do this entire way here because it's the fastest way. Teleporting to the top of the castle is actually takes way longer than just like walking a straight line, you know, for the most part. So I'm going to make a cut right here, and I'll be back with you guys when I reach the wall we need to decipher in Dracula's castle, okay? Hey guys, I'm back. So I just arrived here after a very long trip, like 10 minutes at least. So here is the wall we need to translate, so we are here. So let me just sit here. I'm pretty sure I've already sat here before, but just checking. The Throne of Bones. Yep. After we need to go here. Not today, but we need to go here eventually to check how the chairs are going. This is the chair room. We need to check if we got all of the chairs. I don't know if that gives us any percentage, by the way. Alright, so let's bring it in the translator fairy here. So let's see if there's some good info. So find the pumpkin mace. So a legendary innocent devil may be open to the... Cool, I already know that. So there you go, that didn't help a whole lot. Alright, so let me remove this. So that's it. So 100 and 100, only the Garibaldi Temple. The rest is complete. So yeah. So the plan for the next episode, I'm going to farm all the materials beforehand, obviously, because I'm not going to record a 5-hour episode of me try to find the materials. So I'm going to try to get all of the materials. Then I'm going to probably craft the pumpkin maze in the episode. So after that, we're going to go up here to get the pumpkin familiar. I just need to use the mace on the pumpkin to break it or to like remove the petrification effect, and then it will be available to us. Or maybe I should do the tower first, because I'm probably not going to use the pumpkin, because from what I've read, the pumpkin actually the best thing that the pumpkin can do for you in terms of like being an innocent devil is to give you a bunch of bonuses. So it gives you like a lot of strength, constitution, luck, and attributes and bonuses of that particular nature. But they don't have like any fighting skills of any kind. So there's no point in taking the pumpkin with me to the tower, you know? So the idea is probably in the next episode we are going to start from the end of the first tower, going to the second tower. And probably with the pumpkin already... or maybe we should do the tower first, then break the pumpkin, one of the two. I'll decide there. But by the next episode, I'll probably already have the pumpkin maze complete. So we can finally get the last familiar. And we'll try to do the tower, but I have no idea if I am strong enough to do it. And I also don't know if I like 100% need Isaac's weapon to complete the tower. I have no idea what's going to happen. I didn't read anything about the tower, so I'm just guessing that's going to be pretty difficult. Probably the most difficult thing in the game other than that final boss there. Not the final boss, the special boss. So, but that's for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.